Hey everybody, it's Master Galengeist here, bringing you my review of Alien Earth Episodes 1 and 2, the season premiere of it, and I really enjoyed this a lot better than I thought I would, especially since I had watched Alien Romulus before, and I'm like, I pretty much was going to just write myself off of any of the other ones, and I was just like, fuck it, I recorded it anyway, let's see what goes on. First episode is about an hour and a half. Second episode is like 73 minutes. Okay, going on with that. It's like 93 minutes and 73 minutes. So you're like, okay, an hour and 30-some minutes for the first one, but there's commercials and shit in there. And like a little over an hour for the second one. And it's really a stark kind of juxtaposition. This one understands horror and the franchise better than Romulus, in my opinion, where I was afraid for things. And for people, I felt that even when we had more kind of red shirt moments, it was enough kind of given for the character to be like, I don't want this shit to happen. And the fucking xenomorph is done fucking amazingly here. Like, it's done sparingly, and you see it doing shit in the background, and then when it fucking cuts loose, sometimes you see some crazy ass shit, and then sometimes you just see the aftermath. It knows what to show, and what not to show, and when to show it. It's like, holy shit. Now, the first episode is a little bit worse, in my opinion, because of some timeline-wise of how you're trying to figure out what's going on with this crew of the Mastodon. And also kind of like the timeline-wise of what is going on with the Aliens franchise. However, trying to figure that out is almost a lost cause at this point, where there are certain things where there's a franchise, like I would have a thing with my mom. It's like the Underworld franchise. Lore doesn't go that deep. Like, she would have questions about certain kind of things. Like, lore doesn't go that deep. Other times, it's like, there is no lore on that. And other times, the lore is so confusing and contradictory, you're like, I got nothing. Because you have an alien that Weyland-Yutani is pretty much sending things and having instructions to, like, bring this shit back. And you're like, how do you already know that that shit's there for, like, the alien egg and all that kind of shit? Where this is pretty much like, how the fuck do you have these 5 alien specimens, one being the xenomorph egg? Because this is, like, in 2120... I'm just going to at least stick with that to the point. And of course, this is kind of doing different kind of things with the premise being like showcasing that we're exploring the different kind of stuff of mankind. That there's like 3 separate destinies for immortality. Cybernetically enhanced humans called cyborgs, artificially intelligent beings, synths, and synthetic beings downloaded with human consciousness hybrids. This is definitely bringing in a lot of Ghost in the Shell kind of things, and I do like that in episode 3, as we'd seen in the stinger, that we are going to explore that a little bit more, because I'm like, that's not that easy. It also doesn't help that Tilly Oliphant's character kind of is the white-haired, and we find out that he is a synth, kind of giving me the kind of vibes of Ghost in the Shell. I have not watched a lot of Ghost in the Shell. I watched the movie with Scarlett Johansson, I'm like, alright. Trust me, I'm not writing off the anime for that reason. It's just ungodly fucking stupid to try and find places, like, to do it, where it's turned pretty much to Crunchyroll at this point. So at some point, I'll go for that. I don't have I like what Ghost in the Shell explores with that kind of stuff. I just need to actually engage with the media. Alright, so we kind of start off and see what's kind of going on with the Weyland-Yutani place. Let's see here. With the Weyland-Yutani thing, we kind of get a lowdown that there are 4 corporations that used to control Earth, but now there's an introduced 5th one, Prodigy, which is run by Boy Cavalier, who is a dick shit. And thinks he's the smartest fucking thing ever, and actually is attempting to run this thing. Okay, since there are 2 episodes, and I watched them both, there's going to be bleed over, so it's going to kind of be mushed together. That's why I fucking hate when this happens. But he is attempting to do this kind of program of transferring consciousness, of human consciousness, into synthetic bodies, because he wants to talk to someone smarter that can blow his mind. And I'm like, this woman is doing this shit and is smarter than you on this shit, you're a fucking tool. So the first one, we're dealing with the Mastodon. We are introduced very much similarly to the original Alien. And you're going to be like, they fucking aped it. They did the complete and utter homage that you were probably having problems with in Alien Romulus. What goes on with this? Because it's not just done... It's like the difference between somebody that makes a hamburger because they know how to make a hamburger and make it in a way that like McDonald's or some other place does it, and someone that knows how to make the food and puts their own kind of care and attention into it. I did not feel that with Alien Romulus. I fucking feel it here. Like, this person knows and understands and respects the Alien franchise, and you see that with how the production is, the graphics are amazing, they know when to use their budget effectively. We get nice shots of cities to give us an understanding of place, time, and scale. Same with the ships. Same with our monsters. They know when to fucking use their budget. I don't need this. I don't need, like, a 50 fucking foot Coca-Cola sign to showcase that this is a dystopia at this point. If I'm dealing with monsters, you show me this motherfucker doing some crazy ass shit. And they do some crazy ass shit with this motherfucker. And we learn that a xenomorph can be tased, though it doesn't stay tased for long, bro. That's in episode 2. Sorry, I go everywhere because they decided to drop 2 episodes. This is why I prefer not to do it, depending upon what goes on. So, we see the crew kind of doing their stuff. We got this one dude pretty much trying to lock everything down. We get this old dude kind of showcasing off what's kind of going on with the corporations, who controls what spheres, Weyland-Yutani controlling North and South America, and how it kind of works out to that kind of effect. It's a really good thing to kind of link up with what we have seen from the space truckers in the original Alien movie, while giving us an understanding of the time and place of what's going on here. They had done the 65-year expedition, having all of these kind of specimens and everything. We see them kind of like fucking around with them before shit starts going really kind of crazy, and we see the jump cuts and timeline framing of what's kind of going on is kind of nuts. We see the security dude, who we learn is a cyborg, talking with Mother and trying to figure out what's going on, saying pretty much everybody's dead, and to pretty much get instructions of like try and preserve the specimens, see what's going on. As we see that a xenomorph has gotten out, kills one of the people, tries to fucking kill this dude's ass, gets Mother to open up this thing where he like welds his fucking self into it as the xenomorph's trying to like bash into it, but the spaceship crashes into Earth. Of course, in a progeny-controlled city. We then, well, while this is also going on, we learn about progeny and them doing this stuff with terminally ill children and transferring their bodies into their minds into synthetic bodies. This evidently is because children are more malleable on this, and that kind of makes sense. But it's also like, oh yeah, these kids are going to die anyway, so let's fucking do this. It's really kind of nutty that it's called Neverland, and that all their machine bodies are named after the Lost Boys and like people from Peter Pan. And listen, one of the great things about this, besides like the production and really feeling like you're in the Aliens franchise and everything, are these adult actors that act like children. It doesn't come off stupid or insane or just horrendous acting. These are children, at the very least almost teens, at teen level without having all the teen things going on, put in adult bodies. We are introduced to Marcy and trying to figure out what's kind of going on. We see her learning from Kirsch, Timothy Olyphant's character, who we learn is synthetic, talking about scorpions. And you would think, this is a stupid kind of thing. It really isn't, because Marcy is unnerved by it, and that is going to be a theme going on. It's like, okay, this is a new kind of organism that you have encountered. And she's like, I want you to kill it. And I'm like, okay, because it could sting someone. Yes, but what if one of its friends sees that I'm killing it and decides to sting me instead? And that kind of thing. It's like, you have to understand the consequences of your actions. And of course, these are children put into these bodies that can do vast, great things. But that's even if they are children. Like, our brains and our chemistry, it's like the transfer. Do you get the entire mind? Do you get the soul? Can a mechanical body hold that shit? Did they kill these children? Are they AI believing that they're children? Did they kill these children? Is this ship of Theseus? You keep shifting yourself out so many times. Are you the same person? Now, in the beginning, we're thinking that these are these kind of children. They at least have memories, or at least recollections, or at least data in their heads that links them to their past lives. Talking about missing eating food, missing having baths, even though they hated taking baths. Wendy, Marcy's machine name, remembers her brother Joe Hermit, and is linking up to him and everything. We also get a thing later on that she evidently can hear xenomorphs, which is completely and utterly crazy. That her hearing is on a frequency kind of even higher than what they were doing. But this is shown, it's teased, foreshadowed as they're doing a hearing test as she's kind of looking into certain things. Episode 3 seems to be very much interested in kind of learning and leaning into that, because one of the dudes is like, we need to figure out what happened here. We either have AI acting as children, or we killed children. We've got a lot of bad options here. What the fuck's going on? So I'm like, yeah, that's not. I'm glad that they're digging into that and digging into everything going on here. Now, they have not dug into the black goo. I'm happy about that at this moment. However, from these 2 episodes, I believe that they would probably handle the black goo vastly better than what's going on in the movie franchise. I'm almost at this point where I'm like, I'm kind of done with the movie franchise. Like, I'll see. I will not go out of my way for it. And if I'm like, you know what, I kind of want something and this is here, so sure, fine, whatever. But this rekindled of like, oh shit, this, it's like, ooh, you got shit that I kind of like from like the first ones. Let's see what's going on here. And it's nuts. Like, we also get this dude fucking like blasting shit in the Progeny one. And like, what the fuck's kind of going on at this place? So we see Wendy being the first one, mentoring these other ones. We get this whole thing kind of going on as they're kind of looking around, doing their own kind of stuff. Of course, they're trying to figure out how to test them, see what's kind of going on. We see Wendy able to do a lot of strange things with the technology that even Progeny doesn't really even know. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? How are you fucking doing this shit? What the fuck, motherfucker? Kind of shit. It's like, alright. Of course, we then link it up with what's kind of going on. We see the ship crash. We see that Joe is sent in because he's a medic. He actually is attempting to go as a doctorate on Mars. However, the assholes are like, no, you're not getting out of your contract. Fuck you. Wendy, of course, is doing shit and actually is able to take over the HR bot that denied his request and talk about a certain kind of line of Ice Age continental drift. There was a movie that they linked up with together, and it's like, oh, okay, kind of showing the sibling relationship. And that's the funny thing. Out of all the things in here, me getting into this a little bit and actually kind of talking about, there's a lot of things that I like, and this is just another kind of one that, like, sibling relationships are an important kind of part for me. She is the younger sibling that was terminally ill, and Joe was the kind of older sibling, and kind of how he kind of dealt with that, and seeing that going on, especially kind of in the second episode, was kind of nice. Okay. New Siam, Progeny City. So we see Joe sent in there. We see that Boy Cavalier is pretty much telling Wayland Yutani's head to go fuck off because crash landed in his shit. That shit's mine. Eat my ass. Have your lawyers talk to my lawyers. It's like, oh my god, fuck off. Trillionaire dick shit. Security Officer Morrow, that's the cyborg dude. Because her brother's pretty much getting sent into there, she is able to talk Kirsch and Boy Cavalier to sending her and the rest of the Lost Boys in to test their capabilities while also trying to save her brother because he can be hurt and everything. And it's a kind of, the way she talks about it and rationalizes it and explains it is like, he can get hurt. I can't, because of where she is now and what she can do. It's like, wow, it seems simple enough, but like a lot of times trying to go through people's thought processes and reasonings for things, like, wow, that's simple, but it's something that you would hope somebody would be like, yeah, I kind of want to help them. And of course, we see them kind of going through it. We see the complete and utter carnage and devastation that's kind of going on, which would be really fit in any kind of disaster movie. But they're going through, it's all creepy and everything. We see that a lot of shit went wrong with the Maginot. We see a lot of people dead in weird ass ways. And it's like, oh god, what the fuck's kind of going on here? We don't get the No, we actually do get a second one in this first episode, and then a third one, and a fourth one in the second. So we see that Morrow pretty much takes up these kind of guys that were sent in. It's like, yeah, he's got to ascertain all the specimens for Weyland-Yutani, and he links them up. There's one dude had a kind of blood-sucking bug. It just sucks everything out of him, and then his friend as well. As we get into the second episode, the other lost children that are following Kirsch at that point see him and are like, oh shit, fuck, what the fuck's kind of going on here? It's a monster kind of shit. Before we see the other eyeball fucker that fucked with this cat and tried to go after one of the other ones, and it's like, oh god, I don't blame her for being fucking afraid and terrified. And then the other dude as well, it's like, ooh, Kirsch, this fuck, as we see this kind of plant thing hanging down, it's like, holy fucking shit. And it does this one thing to one of the other ones, trying to ascertain what the fuck's kind of going on with them. It's like, because they're in synthetic bodies, so they're not things that normally these specimens would go after. Now, the first one, we really get interesting kind of stuff with this. Like, I had oh shit moments with the Xenomorph. Because we see Joe going with two of his comrades. They have to jump across this gap, but of course, we've been seeing that the Xenomorph's been tracking them. And then it tries to go after Joe, and he gets hit down on the one thing, and the fucker's running after his ass. I'm like, oh shit! And then he's able to get into a elevator. Of course, this is kind of where Wendy kind of links up and is trying to see what's kind of going on here. And gets sent in with that. The leech-like ones, yeah. Okay, that's about that. Yeah. Okay, so we see that they get in there. We see Wendy able to ascertain where Joe is. Morrow kind of disappears for a little bit before kind of getting back up into Joe's kind of part. He kind of links up with another one of his squad, and it's like, there's some fucking thing here. It's really kind of funny because Wendy and one of the other Lost Boys, Slightly, are sent after Joe, and they see the claw marks, and they're like, is this a bear or something? What the fuck's going on here? Joe links up with the dude. They try and get these party assholes out. He's like, oh, I know, Boy Cavalier, blah, 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 blah. And then the Xenomorph comes, kills the one dude that Joe found out, jumps over Joe, and goes in and just wrecks the fucking room as Joe's looking in, and he has the assault rifle from... It's fucking insane. And he almost gets taken out by the Xenomorph. But that's when Morrow shows up with a taser, is able to taser the Xenomorph, and then tases him, spreads some kind of crazy-ass thing as he's dragging the fucking Xenomorph through the building, and then pretty much gets stopped by these other people. And they're like, dude, you should get out of here. It's like, what the fuck's in the bag? And then, of course, it starts moving, and it's like, it recognizes fear. So, go on forward, guys. And he shuts down his fear, and the Xenomorph almost, like, it just... I gotta hand it to him on the direction of it, because we see the carnage going on here out of focus. And it's like, oh god, because then your imagination kind of goes on it. It's just enough. And then we see the aftermath of everything, and the Xenomorph pretty much escaping again, and kind of linking up. Not linking up, but like going more after Joe and Wendy and all that. Because they link up. Morrow takes Joe, but Wendy and them are able to kind of like link up with them. He kind of comes to and gets this famous baseball, and it's like, oh shit. And Wendy is trying to keep as secret as possible. Slightly, of course, just lets the bomb drop. As Hirsch is now detailed, he gets into the Maginot's computer system and understands that there's Xenomorph eggs. He's like, all right, Wendy, you and Slightly need to go and lock that shit down. So they pretty much take Joe with them. She is able to kind of give him the lowdown of what's going on, and at first he doesn't really believe her, but then brings up these memories that they both have shared and then hugs her, and it's a really kind of cool moment. The really fucking crazy ass part is I love the actress for Wendy because it almost looks on the verge of her having emotions, but she can't have those emotions and she can't cry because she's in, well, she might be able to cry as a synthetic. I'm not quite sure. Most of them we don't really see doing that because they don't have emotions, so they wouldn't have that kind of response. And who knows, I do like that they bring up that they don't have the hormones and everything that do those kind of emotions and feelings. What happens when you take that from a consciousness? Now we still have 6 more episodes. There's 8 episodes in total to explore that, see if that makes any of them crazy or insane or something, or makes them more psychotic or sociopathic. It's like, you're taking out this shit, you might need to like do stuff with it. Okay. Toodles, Smee, Nibs, and Curly encounter the 2 extraterrestrials. And it's like, okay. Sorry, we haven't really had much on their naming, except for like Wendy and Slightly. That's why I kind of bring this up. So, they pretty much are going after the eggs. They see what's kind of going on. Joe almost gets fucking cracked on by like a egg, but the Xenomorph's like, booyah, Kool-Aid man, motherfucker. And then fucking tanks his ass, and Wendy's like, listen, Slightly, watch this shit. And then she fucking goes after her brother. I'm like, cool. That's what you kind of do. Let's see. Yeah, and that's pretty much where it ends. So, I do feel that that the creators, at least within this story, understand what they are doing with the exploration of corporations holding all this stuff together. It doesn't take the complete and utter deep dive that could be gone on that, but that's not the objective here. We're examining what these corporations are doing with synthetics, cyborgs, and the hybrids, how these alien specimens kind of link up with that potentially. Kind of the stuff of what was going on with Alien Romulus, of like probably doing better evolution for humans to survive out in space and do shit. And having like really good horror and just fucking good direction on what's going on. How to show things, how to not show things, and what to kind of lead to with imagination, because when Morrow turns around and you see that the Xenomorph just went whole ass ham wild, like we don't even see it taking out the partygoers, but we see the aftermath as Joe goes in, and it's fucking horrendous. The one dude that's like, I know Boy Cavalier. We see his legs on one portion of the fucking apartment, and then we see him crawling without his lower half on the other, going as the Xenomorph is up top going blah, blah, blah. It's like, me, man. And we see a lot more of the Xenomorph physically than we did in like Alien. Maybe not Aliens. I mean, we got good ass shots of the ones in the costumes. We also got good stuff in the costumes as well in the first one, but we see it more in here. But it's more of a kind of balance of like, I would almost kind of compare it to kind of Jaws kind of effect, except in this portion the shark actually works enough that you can actually show it more doing kind of shit, and the graphics for it doing insane shit look well done as well. This was a lot better of a TV show than I thought they would pump out, and I hope that it's shown as an example of like, okay, effectively utilizing your budget and hopefully getting it back. But I was almost ready to write off this franchise because I'm like, listen, I understand what you're attempting to do with the engineers, David, and everything. The execution just isn't for me, and I'm kind of good here. That's pretty much the main stuff that it's boiling down to. I don't necessarily hate the answers that we're getting for certain things. In the movie portion of the franchise, I'm loving the answers and shit and what we're exploring and diving into in this show. I'm like, god damn, how they do this stuff with the like weaponry, like down to all the little details of like how the sets are done. It pulls me into the world. I'm like, oh shit, and then we get the characters. I'm like, ah shit, I don't want his like Joe's comrades to die. I don't want these kids to die. unless they start turning them and having them going completely and utterly insane later on with what's been done to them, and then seeing these people just playing with these alien forces and not even the people. These corporations just creating these environments of like, oh yeah, let's just take this shit and get as much money out of this shit as possible. It's like, you can examine this and understand this, but sometimes you gotta be like, that thing is just a killing machine motherfucker. We gotta watch our asses for it. Because Kirsch brings that up. People are animals. They're food. You are not food. And it's like, interesting way to think of it because of them being in the synthetic bodies. And it's like, do you make yourself not food to these things? Or a higher tier kind of thing on that. It's like, whoa. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I probably missed or have glossed over, but these were 2 pretty long-ass episodes. And I hate when they fucking do this. If you're gonna do this, I would rather prefer a 1-episode premiere, whether that be 1 hour or 2. That way I can kind of contain it on a certain thing, even that gives me more. Or you just do the whole kind of season, so that way I can like go through, link the stuff up together and everything like that. It's a better kind of flow. That way I can give more to certain kind of aspects, or talk about certain kind of things and have certain discussions on this kind of plot point, or this kind of effect that they did or whatnot. It's always nutty when they either half it and be like, let's do 3 episodes at once. Amazon's The Boys. I'll be like, no, please. No. But I would recommend this for fans of Alien and Aliens. More so than fans of Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and Alien Romulus. Yeah. And if you're just looking into kind of a horror TV show and are not interested in the franchise whatsoever, I still would recommend it because it gives you enough. It's that balancing act of being an established franchise, being able to be like, okay, if this is your first Alien thing, I think you would be comfortable understanding the world and everything without being like, I'm gonna plot dump your ass. It's like, no! That doesn't happen here. The exposition is delivered organically enough where it's not like, I'm going to sit here for 10 minutes and explain to you what the fuck's going on. It's like, no, we're going to explain what's going on by showing shit going on and not just be like, insert this character that's like never known anything before, that should probably know what this shit is, at least even tangentially, with just fucking sitting there for osmosis kind of effect. Yeah. I would definitely recommend this. Now, if you're not into horror and don't like blood, guts, and gore, fucking dodge this shit like ain't nobody's business. This is... No. Go away. I don't want you to have nightmares and shit, my friends. If you hated this, I completely understand that. Like, that's cool. You don't have to like it. You're probably looking at me like, you hated that fucking other thing. I'm like, I did not like it. Like, I think hate's a strong word. Like... If you dislike something, that's cool. Like, hate takes on a kind of level of, like, just don't do it, man. I'm just like, I don't like this franchise anymore. Like, that's pretty much the objective that I got with Alien Romulus. But then I saw this one, I'm like, no, I like this franchise. I just don't like what they're doing with the movies on certain kind of things. And this is pretty cool. And I'm onto this. And if you disagree with me on that, that is cool. Find your cool-ass shit and have a good time. I just want you to have a good time. And if you had a bad time with this, I'm sorry. I totally get it. And I mean, I had a bad time with Alien Romulus. I'd be like, I'd like my time back. So, those are my opinions on the episodes. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked them, if you didn't like them, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.